But talking about ministry and living life in ministry, so you are studying nursing, healthcare. I worked in healthcare for several years, and it's a lot, especially as a Catholic. It's not always the easiest. But so working with like in class and then doing your clinicals, working with all these other nurses and doctors, how does your faith impact what you do, and how do you like kind of keep your faith?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's definitely it's difficult being like in the medical field and like being around all of these people who are like do not have any faith, like who don't really have any reason to like enjoy life. And it's hard because like especially after being in this huge Catholic community all last summer, coming back and being in this like place where like no one knows the Lord, and if they do talk about him, it's like they're just completely like bashing his name, and it's really hard. And all I want to do is like love these people, and I want to like share my faith with them, but it's just like figuring out how to do that, and it's something that the Lord has been putting a lot on my heart. Just like in being with nurses and doctors at clinicals, and also just with like my own people in my program, like to pray for them, and that like our prayers are actually so powerful. And I think that we forget that a lot, especially when it comes to like interceding for other people. But like the Lord hears our prayers, and like we might not be able to see that, but he does. And it's so important to pray for the people who you are encountering. And I find myself a lot just like asking God that like in my conversations with my classmates, that like even if it's not directly like about God, like that they would still like see something in me. Because you hear these stories, like testimonies from people who are like, yeah, like I was like completely like I had no faith at all, and then I met this one person and their joy stood out to me, and I wanted that joy. And like it was never like this like, oh, they told me all about Jesus, and like I mean that obviously happens, and that's amazing. Like, I'm not discouraging that at all. But, like, just the power of, like, even just our joy that can, like, convert people and turn people, like, whoa, like, I see this joy and I want it. And then, like, that leads them to, like, asking them, like, how are you so joyful? I've heard so many stories like that. And so it's just, like, Jesus, like, help my joy and my love to reflect yours, and to make the person who I am, like, interacting with, like, see something in that and want that, and then maybe ask me about it, and then I can like share it with them.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what you have to do. It's really easy to get discouraged. It's really easy also to kind of fall in line with what all they do, because as humans we want to fit in. We want to like be like everybody else. Like, oh, they're saying this, oh, I could say this too. It's like, oh, they're going party, say, oh yeah, I party too. It's like, and it's like it took me a long time to learn that. I was not good at it when I first started in healthcare. I just went right with the crowd because it's easier.
It's hard, yeah.
It's so difficult, and then you see things like you see the true sorrow and worst in humanity.
Yeah.
And you see people on like their absolute worst day. No one has their best day. It's like in ICU, like maybe when they come out of 7-year coma, it's like, oh hey, best day ever. But like it's rough. And you're dealing with like death. You're dealing with our humanity. And these people who have been working in it for 5, 10, 20 years, they can become really jaded. And they can, and it's tangible, and it also feeds onto everybody. But to keep that joy, keep that prayer throughout your day, and then adding on that to your life will be huge. I used to just pray constantly when I was like doing CPR or dealing with people who was rough. I was just Our Father, Hail Mary, like just doing the best I possibly could.